The world is always looking for the next big thing, a new innovation, a breakthrough discovery, or a game-changing idea. And now, Saudi Arabia is throwing its hat into the ring with an ambitious project that's set to shake up the world of urban planning as we know it. Introducing the 170-kilometer linear city, a massive undertaking that promises to redefine how we think about sustainable living and community design. In this video, we'll take a closer look at how this groundbreaking project came to be, what sets it apart from other cities, and why it has the potential to transform the future of urban development. Construction of the Saudi Arabian line has begun. The drone video showed that the line in Saudi Arabia has already begun construction. The project has been hotly contested in recent months, with many claiming that it is too large to construct and rather resembles something from a science fiction film. But how will this work out now that the building has started? Could this be the start of the biggest mega project the world has ever seen? Or will the line develop into a multi-trillion-dollar construction blunder that is ultimately abandoned? What are NEOM and the line? Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, revealed the line's precise design in July 2022, and we covered it in our first film on the line. He suggested two parallel, 500-meter-tall, reflecting glass buildings that would span 170 kilometers of the desert. The equivalent of this would be two lines, each made up of 2001 World Trade Centers. Not only is the line the largest mega project ever conceived, but it's a fresh way to live. There wouldn't be any automobiles in the city, and you could get whatever you needed by walking for 5 minutes. All of the electricity would be generated by wind and solar farms, and any water needed would come from a desalination facility that produces water without any carbon emissions. The line would become a zero-carbon city thanks to all of this. There was a combination of amazement, awe, and mistrust in response to the suggestion. Additionally, there was practically no information available about what was occurring on the building site, although the trailers had been seen millions of times on YouTube and other platforms. As a result, practically everyone thought that the line was only a promotional gimmick. But then, around 3 months after Mohammed bin Salman was introduced, events took an unexpected turn. Beginning of the line's actual construction. A drone video of the building site was released by OT Sky on October 19, 2022. In the video, tourists are seen using excavators to build trenches beside the desert, which will serve as the line's foundation. The drone video indicates that the excavation already extends quite far inland. It's difficult to determine precisely how far it extends, although they could be quite near the mountains in the backdrop. NEOM's website has an official map that shows that the line passes through these mountains after beginning at this harbor. The film was presumably shot somewhere around here due to the topography and the fact that the water is visible in the backdrop. The length of the excavations may therefore be between 10 and 20 kilometers. Additionally, additional infrastructure is being constructed around the whole project. There are several developments evident on Google Maps. There is a large area with offices, campers, a NEOM community with a football field and swimming pools, and a NEOM Experience Center beside the mountains. Since these pictures are outdated, there are certainly a lot more today. How might this turn out now that the development has officially begun? Nothing in the whole world comes close to this. Therefore, we are left to guess what will happen next. The line. What will happen to it? Example 1. However, we may claim that the outcomes are essentially limited to 3. First, it's possible that the line won't have any residents when construction stops in a few months, or perhaps years. Like the Jeddah Tower or the Dubai Creek Tower, it can become a project whose progress is yet undetermined. Both times, gorgeous visuals and lofty promises were presented. When construction first began, it seemed that the structures would be completed. But after that, everything stopped, and nothing more has been accomplished. This seems to be a less plausible scenario for the line. However, given that it has the support of a whole nation and has drawn enormous global attention, bringing the project even close to completion might provide Saudi Arabia with a fantastic chance to attract more visitors and investment. The line. What will happen to it? Situation 2. The second possibility is that Saudi Arabia significantly invests in its present ambitions and accomplishes what it promised in its trailers over the next few decades. Certain aspects, such as eliminating vehicles, producing only renewable energy, and adopting the concept of vertical living, may surely be implemented. But given the project's sheer enormity, it simply seems impossible to complete. The One World Trade Center, which took around 8 years to finish, is meant to be comparable in height to the line, as we have said. Even if that is still a decent amount of time, Saudi Arabia plans to erect a building that is 170 kilometers long and the same height. In essence, the 2001 World Trade Centers would be built in a continuous strip. Furthermore, because there are 2 of these lines in the proposal, it would be equivalent to creating 4,000 of them. We would get 32,000 years if we just multiplied everything by 8 years. Saudi Arabia would undoubtedly construct them more quickly since they could begin building on many areas at once, but it still effectively conveys the enormity. In essence, it would take millennia to complete. Another example is the 17-year construction of the Three Gorges Dam in China, which required around 40,000 employees. But in comparison to the line, it is small, standing at 180 meters tall and 2.3 kilometers long. The line. What will happen to it? Situation 3. However, there is a third potential outcome. Considering that they have already begun building, a compromise may be reached. We speculated at the beginning as to whether this may be the biggest mega project mankind has ever seen or a $1 trillion building error. But another choice could be available. Saudi Arabia could construct it, as many of you said in the comments section of our previous video, but not to the absurd lengths they had in mind. Since the line is designed in 5-minute chunks, the whole mega project may simply be implemented piecemeal. They may easily increase the length as required, depending on demand. Additionally, the project might be made much more realistic and simpler to construct by adjusting the height of the line. The idea of vertical living stays the same at half the height, and all the characteristics might still be used. Even if the line is constructed on a much smaller scale, it may be the first contemporary metropolis to be car-free and introduce a whole new way of life to the globe. Several efforts are being made all around the globe to reduce the number of cars in cities. However, instead of doing away with vehicles entirely, they have just focused on cutting down on car use. It is quite difficult to alter this since the vehicles dominate most large cities. They have a chance to start again with the line. It could be the first major metropolis in the 21st century where there are no more automobile trips. A community's essential facilities should all be accessible by foot. If not, longer trips to the whole line may be made using the planned subterranean train system. By 2030, the first residents may be living in the hypothetical high-tech civilization, but on a much smaller scale. Which of these scenarios is thus the most probable? What are the opinions of professionals on this crazy project? Few experts would concur that the project is doable, especially given the relatively short schedule. I want to be clear about this. NEOM is a complicated, daring, and extremely ambitious enterprise that is most definitely not an easy one to fulfill, said Antonio Vives, Chief Urban Planning Officer of NEOM, to CNBC. However, we are moving forward quickly, and it is inspiring to see the concept materialize. On the other hand, other specialists who aren't working on the project are raising additional issues. There would be so many physical and environmental phenomena that would have to be dealt with to achieve the incredibly minimal and singular character that the renderings propose, Marshall Brown, an architectural professor at Princeton University, told The Zine. What do you think then? Will this project be successful in some manner now that the development is underway? Will there be residences there in the future? Or will this idea become a mega project that is abandoned? Tell us in the comments section below. We appreciate your support and interest in our videos, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.